Hello everybody and welcome to Aor's PS4 Tier F8 live from the streets of Monte Carlo. We're live from the Principality of Monaco for round number 6 of the F8 season. It takes us to the south of France, to the small little independent country known as Monaco. A very, very famous circuit synonymous... There we go. Just getting some food delivered to me. Anyway, as I was saying, Monaco synonymous with Formula 1, but here since its inception in 1950 has seen some small changes over the years, but has remained the very, very tough and unforgiving circuit that we know today. So it is round 6 of the F8 season. We've had some guys move up to the F6 and F7 tiers, namely your pole sitter for the past 5 races, Wild Ditto. He is up in F7 along with Foxy's and Nezran. They've moved up. And we have a few debutantes here today. Let me check it out. Clean Bandit, the Cypriot, is here with us in P8 at the moment. We also have Danny UK making his debut in F8, along with McQuiz, who returns after a couple of issues with his PS4. Keep an eye out for him. So here today we also have James, we have Jason, we have Robin, we have Ben, we have Seika, Ian, and Noodle, we have Clean Bandit, we have Washi, of course your championship leader, Zek in P10, FIFA fans in P11, Danny OUK, G-Whites, Denzamo, and McQuiz. Of course your winner last time out was of course Wild Little, but he's of course not here today, as he is racing up in Tier 7 of the PS4 tier. So we wish him all the best of luck, the very best of luck, as he makes his journey up through the the AOR tiers. So, who is going to take pole here today? Of course, in the real season, it was Kimi Räikkönen who took pole position here for a Ferrari 1-2 that later came. We're looking for around the 111s in times here, and we were noticing and testing that Ben looks very, very good around here. Looking at Jason in the Red Bull as he makes his way through. We'll go for an onboard lap around Monaco in a few moments as I get the chat up and we get ready to go for a quali lap. If we've got anybody who's going onto a lap or a fast lap, we'll go on board with David Ben as he goes for his lap around Monaco. Some very, very famous corners, of course, here. And he's going to come up to Casino Square, where, of course, if you didn't know, there's a casino there. Gambling is actually illegal in Monaco if you live in Monaco, which is very strange. Here we go up to the slowest corner in F1, the lowest hairpin, which is a very, very tight. The lowest hairpin there, before we drop down towards the tunnel section. Keeping it tight to the inside there, and then absolutely flat as we go to the chicane after the tunnel. It's completely blind, braking now, and watching the wall on the inside. Locks up a slight bit, but gets through there very nicely. Robin gets out of the way before we head to my favourite section, the swimming pool section. Flick right, and then flat out through the left-right before we head into the swimming pool, and we head to Raskas, where we could see some moves being made. Slow corner, Noodle's kind of in the way there. He might want to get out of the way. He does do that. And we go into Anthony Nogues. And across the line for a lap of Monaco we got, and that's going to be P3 for David Ben. McQuiz, your current provisional pole sitter. And I'm going to Caddy Damus, who couldn't be with us today, but he's going to be looking forward to watching the crashes from work. So good stuff from him. So McQuiz was your opening round winner. He won in Australia, but hasn't been here for a little while, for about 2 or 3 races. Denzamo picked up a podium last time out and is looking to keep that form up. Ben, of course, had a good run last time out as well. Washi was finished, I think, if I remember. Oh, we've had a Ferrari clatter the wall in the lowest hairpin there. Washi, I think, if I remember correctly, Okay, fair.
taste it.
Yeah, it didn't taste a bit funky. Just make sure this is better.
That's better.
Yeah, much better. Thank you. There we go. Just sorting some stuff out there. Anyway, I need to catch up on my coordinates. As we were sorting stuff out there, we had Washi go P2 and Ben go P1 with a 113.7 in the Ferrari. Can we see him take his first pole position today? Well, can we see any of these guys take their first pole position this season? Because none of them actually have a pole position. It was Wild Ditto who took them all for everybody. Let's see. Anybody on a quick lap? We're looking at James Boniface, took an amazing P4 last time out. We're on board with him. As we go into the Lowe's hairpin here. And then we go down towards Portier. This is Portier down here as he gets a kick of oversteer. And down to the tunnel before we head to the Nouvelle chicane after the tunnel here. It's very close up between the top three. Watch as he goes on the brakes into the Nouvelle chicane. Can he get some decent, more decent points? Or can he get himself a podium? Or even a win at some point this season? It would be nice to see James on the top step of the podium at some point. Here into back he went and into the swimming pool section. And into Raskas. What can Boniface, can he get in front of his teammate? Into Anthony Noakes. And towards, flat out towards the line. Where does it put him? It puts him P1 for Boniface by a couple of thousandths of a second. That's a great lap from Boniface. Incredible. Now, does anybody have an answer to that? So close between the top four there. About a tenth of a second separating the top four. As I eat some nourishing chicken sandwiches, which are very nice indeed. In case you were wondering. Just keep my stream up. Danny OUK, zero place grid penalty. He has a small collision with Jeep Whites, as, yes indeed, the Mercedes is in a bit of a pickle. It's up to back, facing towards, oh dear, that's going to cause a bit of mayhem there. Gets himself out of the way. And keeps out of the way. He's just in a really awkward position at to back. It's an odd place to spin out. Bit of front wing debris there. We've got a yellow in sector one of FIFA fans. Looks like he's retired. And has he had an accident? Oh dear. Yes, he has had an accident. He's gone straight on at the first corner, I think that is. Caddy Names asks, who do you think is going to win? I honestly don't know. Because right now we've got Boniface on P1. But I can see, I'm going to tip either probably McQuiz, Boniface, or Ben to win. Maybe Washington. I don't know. If I'm honest, I honestly don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. David Ben, kick of oversteer, coming into Anthony Noakes. Let's watch. On board as he flings his Ferrari towards the start line. Is he going to get on top? The answer is no. He's only 5 thousandths behind Boniface. And there's only a minute and 25 left in the session. As he comes down the casino square towards the Lowe's hairpin, we've still got a yellow in sector 1. We don't know what that's for. Have we got Well, it's FIFA fans has gone straight on. Yeah, there. He's gone on. He's, yeah, straight Sandoval. Couldn't think of the name for a second. Yeah, straight on Sandoval. Now, if Ben nails this lap, he will have another chance. But could this be a big surprise? We'll put Boniface on pole position for his first one this season. I've also got Pringles as well. Excuse me, I'm just getting some food. Anyway, let's keep an eye on David Ben as he comes to the swimming pool. Down to Raskas on board through this final section. Zek puts it on top. This is unbelievable. This is the most unpredictable session so far this season. Ben comes across the line. What can he do? Can he improve? The answer is no. It's Zek on top in the Renault by a couple of hundredths of a second. Now where... Oh, we had an accident. Seika. It looks like he's lost his front wing there. Can Washi put himself any further up? This is incredible stuff from the F8 drivers. So close and unpredictable as ever. Washi P1 on the last moment by a tenth of a second. And he's put his Toro Rosso on pole. And that is going to be his first pole position this season if he can stay there. David Ben is still on a lap, I think. McQuiz is still on a lap here. Can anybody knock Washi off the top step as McQuiz is clouded the wall? I don't think it's going to be it. Watch David Ben. This is amazing stuff. This is the most close qualifying we've had. Wild Ditto is up in F7 and we've never had the opportunity to see these guys go so close together in qualifying. Can David Ben do anything to get himself even on the front row? Let's watch. Through he comes through Anthony Nogues. And let's watch the Ferraris. It comes across the line. It is P1! David Ben, P1 in Monaco. It's Ferrari on the top step of the grid. Top step of the grid. Top spot on the grid. Is Washi on a lap? Is he actually on a lap? Is Washi? We don't actually know. David Ben has put his Ferrari on pole position. No, he hasn't. Washi beats him to it with a 112.8. And that is going to be it. Washi is P1 today. David Ben gets a front row start in the Ferrari. Zek P3 and Boniface P4. McQuiz in P5. Denzamo P6. Seika P7. Jason P8. Newt P9. Ian in 10th. G. White's in P11. Clean Bandit on his debut is in P12. Mr. Robin is in P13. FIFA fans in P14. Daniel UK in his debut is going to put him down at the back of the grid. What an incredible qualifying with Washi. An incredible lap at the last moment to get himself on pole position, but Ben has done an amazing job to get that Ferrari on front row. Can he challenge for the lead into turn number 1? Let me know who you think is going to win. Washi is so hard to pass, he's going to park the bus for 39 laps. Indeed, he's been known to do that. It's his trademark. But Washi, what an amazing lap at the end. 12, 1, 2, 3. In the end, it was actually an 0.8 of a second gap to Ben. Zek, you got a standout performance from him as well in P3 in the Renault. And Boniface as well. Can he get himself on the podium after that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is a qualifying session to remember. So qualifying is over. I need to get my sandwiches eaten before the race starts. Excuse me. There's your confirmation. Half a second separated. David Ben and Washi in the end. ZEQ, Zek P3, Boniface P4, McQuiz P5, Denzamo P6, Seika P7, Jason P8, Noodle P9, IEJ P10, G Whites P11, Clean Bandit P12, Mr. Robin P13, FIFA Fans P14, and Daniel UK in 15th place. And the only driver to set a lap on the Supersofts was, in fact, G Whites, and Daniel UK actually has a 5-place grid penalty. So that's why he's down at the back. Getting ready for the Monaco Grand Prix. Washi's first pole position of the season. Congratulations to him. But now he needs to convert that. Can he convert that into another win and extend his championship lead? It's going to be an interesting one for sure. We've got 30 seconds to lights out. Standout performances to me from qualifying were Ben. Actually, the top four, pretty much. The top four did amazing. Real standout performances from them. 3 or more cars to go out in the first lap. Let's see. 5 seconds to go. Grab your popcorn. We're about to go racing in Monaco. And we go to 5 red lights for the Monaco Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. Washi gets away well. David Ben gets away well. It's all even off the front row as he got a P1. Washi will hold on to that P1. And so will Zek in P3. Boniface P4. McQuiz starting to challenge P4 for P4. He gets in front of James. And everybody seems to get through cleanly. So far we got a problem for Jason. He's got a missing a front wing there. But everybody has got through pretty much unscathed with a few bangs here and there. Washi holds on to P1, Ben P2, Zek P3, and now McQuiz in P4 after that lap. He's launching one down the inside of the lowest hairpin. He forces Zek to go very wide, and that could be a problem. Oh, there's a bit of a train forming now. Because there was a bit of debris flying around there. McQuiz managed to punt ZEQ in the rear a little bit, and Boniface down to P5, Denzamo in P6 now, Seika P7. Let's watch who your biggest movers are. It's going to be Danny UK from the back. Let's watch because Washi is not an easy guy to pass. So you've got to be really creative with how you're going to get past. But he's held on to that lead very well indeed. So after lap 1, nobody has retired as of yet. David Ben, followed by Zek, followed by McQuiz in the background, and Boniface beginning to challenge. A little bit of contact made. He's coming in. McQuiz has wing damage, so that'll put Boniface back up to where he was. Washi goes fastest lap with Denzamo starting to challenge Boniface now. So that's going to drop him right down. We've got another car in the pit lane. We've got 3 cars in the pit lanes. The 2 Hasses are in for nose changes and tyre changes. But very clean so far. Daniel UK in P9 now. Clean banded into the points now. FIFA fans in 11th. Can he redeem himself a little bit after these performances? McQuiz in P12, Sake P13, and Jason had to come in for a nose change as well. Meanwhile, up front, it is Washi who leads with Ben right on his tail. ZEQ dropping, Zek dropping back a little bit. I have to keep correcting myself because I know that name is wrong. Boniface now 3.2 seconds adrift of these guys with Denzamo starting to challenge. Got a yellow in sector 1. Who is that for? That looks like one of the Hasses. Is I think, because Clean Bandit I think has knocked his front wing slightly. FIFA fans look like he's missing a chunk as well. We've got one DRS section on this track. It is the front straight, and it is not very effective. David Ben pushing the limits already on lap 2 of 39 in Monaco. So this would be a very, very interesting battle. These guys haven't really had a chance to battle up the front. So DRS will be enabled this lap, but it's not going to be very effective. FIFA fans, a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting already within 3 laps. Noodles down the back, not sure what happened to him. Zek is hanging on there in P3, but he may have James closing up on him shortly. If you didn't know, Wild Ditto, Nezran and Foxies are all up in tiers F6 and F7 now. So that's where they're missing from. Ben beginning to challenge Washi. FIFA fans into the pit lane. McQuiz makes up position. Seika makes up position. David Ben's launching one down the inside. There's a bit of contact made between him and Washi. So he's beginning to put the pressure on. Look how close he is, coming towards the Nouvelle Chicane. Washi parks the bus as he always does towards the Nouvelle Chicane. Can he do it at all? David Ben for the lead of the race. Will he go for it? No, he'll back out, but Washi goes a bit deep. No, he manages to hold on and gets away with it. This is going to allow Zek and those to close up on these guys. We've got a 4-way battle for the lead, but it is Monaco. It's going to be so hard to pass these guys. We're going on to lap 4 of 39. Another penalty for FIFA fans, but we're keeping an eye on this battle right here. This is a battle these guys have never had in this season so far. Difference in lines through Raskas. Zek manages to close up. Watch the DRS pop open on the Ferrari. There it goes. He'll get a slide over speed towards the first corner of Sandoval. Can he launch into Sandoval? He watched David Ben down the inside for the lead, and David Ben gets into the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. Watch Zek. Can he pick it up in position at all? Fantastic move, opportunistic as you like. Let's watch Zek as he makes his way through towards the casino square, and David Ben's had a mistake. He's lost his front wing. He's lost a chunk of his front wing. He's had a kick of oversteer, and he's going to have to come in to repair that. So Washi make it past again. Noodle's having a bit of an issue down there with corner cutting, and now look at this train that is forming. Zek is beginning to challenge Washi here. Look how slow through the Lowe's hairpin. James is on the back of these guys as well. This is getting so close together. So David Ben pulls a gap, and he will probably have to come in for damage. Look at the end plate on this Ferrari there. You can see it on the right hand side of your screen. Washi behind him, 1.4 seconds behind now. And look at Zek being under pressure from James Boniface slightly there. Now, can David get away with that? It is very hard to do Monaco without your front wing. So let's see, does he come in? Quite a significant amount of damage to the end plate. There's a good chunk of it missing. Now he'll stay out. Now Washi a little bit under pressure from Zek here in the Renault. DRS, no DRS for Zek though, but there will be DRS for Boniface. Well, there it popped open at the end just to keep himself in front. He's gone a bit wide there, just about keeps it out of the wall. But as his end plate has gone, look at James challenging up the road, but it's too tight up towards through Beau Rivage. But now Washi's right on the back of David Ben once again. There's a problem on that Ferrari. We can Washi return the favour. But he will have to watch his mirrors because Zek is right with them now. Look at this train being formed on the early laps. Look how slow through the Lowe's hairpin. On board with Zek as he follows Washi's tail towards Portier. He's having to watch his mirrors. Here comes James Boniface on the inside, down towards the Nouvelle chicane. This will be the outside line into the chicane. He's going to make that move. Will he stay in front, or will Zek challenge? Will he come back at him? No. Boniface gets that move done, but he'll go deep. 3-second time penalty and 3 seconds for Zek as well. So David Ben is pretty much secure where he is at the moment. And Boniface loses that position once again, but Zek has a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, as does Washi. So this will be a spanner in the works for the Toro Rosso team. And for Zek as well. So now, pretty much, Boniface is running in P2, essentially. David Ben beginning to come under pressure. Oh, we're on lap 6 of 39. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Who is that for? Is it a slow car coming out of the pit lane? Usually, yes, it is. Washi is looking towards the casino square. Zek is looking as well. He's beginning to challenge Washi. This is an amazing battle in the opening laps. Lapped car in the way. Really awkward to get out of the way, but does well to stay out of the way, because I'm sure he's looking as a what on earth is going on at the top. Now, where's Denzamo in all this? He's 4 seconds behind, but he could catch up to these guys. Looks like Daniel UK might have had a problem. Where's McQuiz? Down in P9. We're looking to see if there's any moves made up the top here. Looks like there's been a swap positions down here between Jason and Daniel UK. And Boniface has got past. He has, so ZEQ was a mistake from him there. And Boniface up to P3 now. And he can now chase after Washi. Put the pressure on. This could be a real chance for a podium for Boniface here. And David Ben is looking very strong at the front, even with his broken front wing. And he has got a 3-second time penalty in hand versus Washi. Washi gets the DRS down towards Sandoval. No cigar for him there, but this will allow Boniface to close up. Watch him in the McLaren in the background, clean banded into the pit lane. Not the best debut for him so far. Lap 7 of 39. It's all kicking off at the top in Monaco. The infamous bump as they run down towards the Lowe's hairpin there. And Boniface is now with Washi. Can ZEQ bounce back from that? There's Denzamo. He's closing in on these guys. David Ben, Washi, Boniface, clean bandit. Has a time penalty there, but Zek is in the background. A little bit of a gap opening up between all of these guys now. Meanwhile, it looks like we got a small little battle going on between Mr. Robin and all of these guys here. McQuiz is there. Let's see if McQuiz can maybe launch one down the inside, down towards the Nouvelle Chicane. Mr. Robbins missed a few races as well. Bit of a lock-up from McQuiz from the Estonian. Goes a little bit wide, but comes back. FIFA fans, 5-second stop go across the pit exit line, while exit. And McQuiz looks like he's had a problem. There's a problem up ahead. And G. Whites has managed to brake check. I think Robin X could have had an issue there. And that has damaged his teammate's front wing in the process. So Mercedes is not going to be happy with that. FIFA fans is out of this race. It looks like a crash. Oh dearie me. He's up in Beau Rivage. A very, very awkward place to go off. And not a conventional place to go off. Mr. Robin challenging G. Whites here. And look at McQuiz looking very punchy behind as they go through Beau Rivage. He's on the super soft tyres. There is the damaged car of FIFA fans. They can't overtake up here as they come up to Casino Square. David Ben pulling a gap up ahead of about a second. Oh, a bit of clatter of the wall from Mr. Robin. And look at McQuiz here. Oh, there's a contact made. And in the wall goes Mr. Robin. But they have managed to get away with that. But Mr. Robin is missing a lot of his front wing. And now Jason is getting involved in the Red Bull here, who in fact is racing with a can of Red Bull on the top of his steering wheel. There's a bit of punt in the rear for McQuiz there. 3-second time penalty, so that's 6 seconds added to Zek's time. So he's now behind Denzamo. Meanwhile, IAJ's having a quiet one down there. Let's go back to the front for a minute or two as we watched Washy's chase of David Ben. Hello to Ginger Nick in chat. Welcome along. G. White's a 3-second time penalty there. Let's go back to this little battle just for 1 second as we watch McQuiz try to make a move on Mr. Robbins. Surely going to be a move here towards Raskas and gets that move done very easily indeed. Straight away. Jason, what can he do? Looking through Raskas. McQuiz comes in, Mr. Robbins. He'll gain 2 positions from that. So now Boniface is now with these guys once again. And he can now challenge Washy. Lap 9 of 39 in this Monaco Grand Prix, this fascinating Monaco Grand Prix. One of the best races of the season so far, and we're only not even halfway. Daniel UK, 3-second time penalty. Huge kick of oversteer for Boniface there. And he's dropped time as a result. A lot of yellow flags going on here, and that's Daniel UK out of the race. Looks like he dropped the rear out of Anthony Nogues, and Red Bull are just behind. There is the guy with the pit board hanging out, but that is it for his race. Let's watch Washy down towards Sandoval. No move for him yet. So, through a train for the lead. We still don't know who's going to win this Grand Prix. David Ben's running around with wing damage. Washy's got a 3-second penalty. None of these guys do. Looking at him go defensive down towards... Oh, Boniface launching it down the inside. And is he going to get that move done? He'll come alongside, but no. So he's trying to be opportunistic, trying to get past Washy here. And Washy's parking the bus as he does so well. These guys have come up to lap Noodle now. Noodle has left the session, of course, on board with Boniface as he chases after Washy. Into the Nouvelle Chicane they go for the 10th time. McQuiz and Seika swap positions there. McQuiz gets in front down the main straight there. Boniface has had a problem there, I think. Has he lost his front wing? Yes, he has. So he's had a problem. He's gone straight on. So he's going to have to come in now. That looks like a lot of damage on that front wing. Huge moment for Washy there. He's going to stay out. It looks like he should be able to get away with that. He's still looking punchy, and Zek is in the pit lane now. Denzamo in 4th. Let's watch Zek as he goes for a nose change and some red super softs. Look at Boniface, even with the wing damage, is still challenging Washy. He's in a essentially in P2 right now. With the 3-second penalty that Washy has, he's going to lock up. And hence the lowest headroom for the 11th time in this race. We're running on board with Boniface in this papaya orange helmet and papaya orange McLaren. They're on course for a podium anyway, but can he get himself a race win potentially? But David Ben looks so strong on the Ferrari up there. Washi having to defend. Boniface looking even just from so far back here. We're running on board as we ride through to back. He's going to be struggling here with wing damage, but he's adjusting to that very well. Seika in the pit lane once again. Lock up on the inside right for him there. Into back. Washi's chasing up now. Boniface is dropping back with the wing damage. Is he coming in? No. DRS for Washi once again. This isn't the best camera angle, right on board. As David Ben goes slightly deep there. So he's going to be vulnerable as they run up towards Beau Rivage, but all he can do is just hold his car in the middle of the track as they run up to Casino Square. Zek, another time penalty. That's 9 seconds added to his race time. Swap of positions between him and Jason there. There's a problem there, for sure. Let's keep an eye on Washi in this battle for the lead that has been going on since the start of this race. McQuiz is out. McQuiz is out of the Monaco Grand Prix, out of the Nouvelle Chicane, has dropped it. That is a surprise for the returning Estonian. So, where Washi seems to get close, the dirty air seems to affect him, and he drops back into the clutches of Boniface, but they won't be able to overtake in this sector because they've got a very, very broken Mercedes there. It's through to back, they'll overtake from now. Oh, oversteer from Washi there. Washi seems to get a good run out of Raskas, and Anthony knows huge kick of oversteer there. And here we go. Anthony knows he punches out of there. He will still have DRS, and so will Boniface, but it's so short that it won't really have that much of an effect. David Ben doing an amazing job right now to hold that P1. Meanwhile, in battle for 5th position here, we've got Jason chasing after Ian. In the Force India's had a quiet race so far, and Jason is challenging him for that 5th position. Here we go, down towards Sandoval. Ian is moving over to the left-hand side, and Jason is already alongside as we run down to Sandoval, and he's got in front, and that should be an easy move for him there, and has got in front very easily indeed. Meanwhile, up front, no changes as of yet. It's always nice to have some Pringles alongside you while you commentate. We're reaching the halfway point of this Grand Prix. And it's all looking good for these 3 guys, apart from Washi, who has a 3-second penalty. In comes David Ben from the lead. He'll have a nose change, and Washi will take over the lead of the Grand Prix. Boniface is in essentially P1 right now. So if he can get in front, then that will pretty much secure a win, but he will have to come in for a nose change as well. Let's watch David Ben. He'll go to the end on this set of tyres. Super soft. Denzamo up to P3 now. Let's watch Boniface as he chases down Washi, championship leader. So these guys need to push hard right now. Oh, Boniface has got straight on, and he's tried too hard, and he's now dropped a considerable amount of time from Washi. Has pretty much done a Nico. Oh, he's out! And a very, very nasty crash and voice crack for me there. And he's gone straight on the lowest hairpin, and he is out of the Monaco Grand Prix. That is a real shame and a real surprise. So that puts Denzamo up to P2. So it is a Toro Rosso 1-2 right now. That was a horrific voice crack, I must say. Zek setting fastest laps down the back in P8. So that puts Jason into a great P4 right now. He's 15 seconds adrift for Washi. That'll give him essentially a free stop, and in he comes. And, well, I said, commentator's curse. Jason has crashed out of Portier, and that is it. IEJ up to P4 now. Where is Washi on track? Coming out of the pit lane. Where is David Ben in Raskas? I think Washi's going to get in front. Denzamo's going to take over the lead of the Grand Prix. David Ben is in. He's had a problem. He lost his front wing again. So Washi is in essentially P1 of this Grand Prix, but Denzamo now leads. And IEJ's had a problem with his front wing. What a surprise. Boniface out of the Monaco Grand Prix for what seems such a silly reason. David Ben has had to make another stop for his front wing. He'll still come out. IEJ's going to get in front of him though. This could be close. IEJ's looking for a podium and David Ben's going to come up behind. Oh, he's going to come alongside and IEJ lets him through. Nice bit of driving from him there. Let's watch. Denzamo is now your leader. It is a Toro Rosso 1-2 at this point in time in the Monaco Grand Prix, reaching the halfway point now. Let's see if Denzamo comes into the pit lane. Still has his front wing intact. And he should be coming in. Yes, he does. So that would mean Washi will go back into the lead of this Grand Prix. Now, it's going to be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to David Ben. Can he get the overcut to work? On to super softs for the Toro Rosso team. It'll be a quick stop with no damage on the front wing. Washi takes over the lead of the Grand Prix. He is your leader. And on his way to extending his championship lead is... Yep, Denzamo has made the overcut work perfectly because David Ben has had to make another pit stop, so Denzamo is now in P2 and he's now on his way to making a Toro Rosso 1-2, the first of the season. Can David Ben challenge it all up the front? IEJ is in an excellent P4. He's coming into the pits, it looks like. G. White is in P5 with Zek all over him here in P6. Let's watch. Zek needs to get himself up the field because he's got a 9-second penalty. G. White goes a little bit wide. He goes deep and through. Easy as pie. So now that essentially means our action has dwindled to 0, as is custom with the Monaco Grand Prix. All we can really do is watch the drivers go around, but we can watch David Ben as he closes in very quickly on Denzamo. Denzamo's lost a lot of time. Is he missing his front wing? Yes, he's missing an entire left side of his front wing, so this is going to mean that David Ben will essentially take over P2, but he has to close up to within 3 seconds of Washi to take the win in Monaco. Taking it real slow through the swimming pool section. He's closed up tenfold on Denzamo, and that's going to mean a pit stop for... Yes, in he comes, and Denzamo has lost out. That's going to put Zek up into P3, I think. So this will mean a great recovery for the Renault driver. And if he can stay ahead by 9 seconds, then that will secure him a podium. David Ben now puts the chase on. If you got any comments, make sure to put them in the chat down below. And ask the questions. Let me know who your driver of the day is so far. And who you think is going to come out on top by the end of this Grand Prix. G. White into the pit lane. Denzamo comes out in P4. And G. White will come out behind Mr. Robin. And he'll come out in front of Seika by a mile. Clean ban and 5-second stop go for crossing the pit exit white line. So the debutant will score points. But not the cleanest of races from him. So the field very spread out at this point in time at the halfway point of this race. What can these guys do in the last 18-19 laps of this race? We've had 5 retirements from this Grand Prix. FIFA fans crashing out at the top of Beau Rivage. Danny Oyuke, he crashed as well. I can't remember exactly where he crashed. Actually, at Anthony Nogues. McQuiz lost it at the Nouvelle Chicane. Boniface had a very strange accident at the Lowe's hairpin, and Jason crashed out at Portier. It has claimed 5 victims with a claim anymore. So Washi doing everything he needs to do right now to extend his championship lead and get a maximum haul of 25 points and pole position. So what can Zek do at all? Is he closing in? He has fastest lap right now. So can he close in on the Ferrari? But he will, of course, have to make up 9 seconds after that. So it's mainly for pride. But it doesn't look like he is doing that. So the action has settled down to a lull. It was always going to happen in Monaco, but we had an amazing couple of first half of the race. We'll just wait to see if any driver loses their concentration and puts it in the wall. So, your lineup right now: Washi, David Ben, Zek, Denzamo, IEJ, Mr. Robin, G Whites, Seika, Noodle, and Clean Bandit. We've had an amazing couple of opening laps as Washi gets a little bit he's get held up by Clean Bandit there. He's definitely going to lose time behind the Haas. He's not going to be happy. He's going to be watching, and he moves out of the way after Anthony Nogues. Washi, of course, has never won at Monaco. So can he add that to his list of wins? He's had 2 wins so far this season. Can he add a 3rd to that tally? What a dreamy guy Washi is. Well, isn't he? Isn't he just lovely? Look at him riding around in his Toro Rosso, winning the Monaco Grand Prix. Isn't he just lovely? David Ben chasing after him. Of course, after that incident, he's lost about 3 seconds to the man who's chasing him down very, very hard. We got a yellow in Sector 2. Who is that for? It might be for G White, or it could be... There's a move there anyways. It is for G White, who has lost his front wing. Oh, there's contact between the Haas teammates. What on earth has gone on here? Huge crash of the Nouvelle chicane. And oh my goodness me, how on earth have they got away with that? That is incredible. Awful accident. Seika somehow carries on. That is the most incredible crash I have ever seen in this race. Unbelievable. What on earth? Seika's got a 5-second stop go for that now, but he has to come in anyway, because I am honestly lost for words. I don't even know what to say. Haas team wait 5 seconds as they're supposed to, and put on a set of softs, I think, and a fresh nose cone. What on earth was that accident? Running down to the Nouvelle chicane, Seika and Clean Bandit make contact. We're right on board with Washi, so we can show you the exact position. Seika rode the wall alongside there, along the guardrail, rode that guardrail, and managed to land back on his wheels, but got a 5-second stop go. What on earth? If you rewind the stream back about 2 minutes, you will see what exactly went on there. But it is Washi who leads the way, followed by David Ben, followed by Zek, who is on course for a podium right now. He has got 3 corner penalties, but he's doing enough to make sure that he remains where he is. Let me know who you think your driver of the day is. For me right now, it's gotta be David Ben. He's put in a stellar performance and may yet win, but we're not sure. It's the best we've seen from him all season. And also Zek as well. He's putting on a great show in the Renault. Through Ascas for the 22nd time. I have finished my Pringles, in case you wanted to know. Now, David Ben is actually catching Washi. And if he... It could be close, because if he continues that, then he may be within a shot of catching Washi towards the end of the race. So we'll keep an eye on the gap. I think Washi's just being conservative right now, making sure he doesn't make any mistakes. I think he's just controlling the pace up there right now. But David Ben is closing in. He's 17 seconds behind, but he is closing in. And all he needs to do is get within 3 seconds is all he needs. Because Washi has got a 3-second time penalty. Mr. Robin into the pit lane for his stop. He's got a long stint on those Ultra Softs. How many stops has he done? He's actually... yeah, that's his second stop. Washi's done the one. David Ben has had to make a stop for damage. And IEJ has managed to do everything with a 1 stop. Their position changes there. The top 3 remain as they were. Denzamo up 2, IEJ up 5, Mr. Robin up 7 positions. G White's up 3 and Clean Bandit up 2 on his debut. We can see that gap is definitely coming down. ZEQ's gone straight on at Saint-Devote. And that could be a disaster for the Renault team. They will have to change that front wing. I'm not sure what happened there. He may have been letting some leaders through, but he's now going to be struggling with that car. David Ben is pushing. Pulled a second out of Washi that last lap. If he keeps this pace up, he could potentially win the Monaco Grand Prix. Washi's engineer will be telling him this, letting him know. Is Washi holding back? You would have to assume he is, being so far ahead. Look at Dave Ben pushing the car to the limit. Massive kick of oversteer out of Raskas. We will keep on board with him as he makes his way up past Beau Rivage, as we had ZEQ cloud of the wall. That's going to have to be a stop for him. And he will drop behind Denzamo, it looks like. Will he come in? Surely he'll have to come in, and Denzamo may have just been gifted a podium after that mistake. He's coming through the swimming pool section up to Raskas now, and it's going to be at least a 5-second stop for him. Onto Ultras, go for the fastest lap. He already has it, but he can go any faster. Denzamo making his way down the pit straight, and that is going to be the podium lost for Zek. Let's watch David Ben. Didn't gain as much that past lap. 14.8 behind, but is still gaining. How much longer can the tyres last on that Ferrari? Lap 25 of 39. Well into the race at this point. Now on those Ultra Softs, I would have to assume that Zek can close up to Denzamo. Denzamo's 46 seconds behind David Ben. So we'd have to assume that Zek can close up very quickly on those. The gap's already coming down. And so too is the gap between Washi and David Ben. He's in some lap traffic right now. IEJ is behind, or is ahead of him, should I say. So I think David Ben lost some time behind the Haas, and he's going to have to move out of the way, is IEJ. And it does so with minimal time loss for Ben there. And is now 13.8 seconds adrift of the leader, and is coming down lap after lap. But is it enough? He needs to gain at least another 10 to have any chance of victory in the Monaco Grand Prix, to put Ferrari back on top and get his first win this season. Washi's had 3, David Ben has had 0 to his name so far, and no podiums. He's on his way to a podium at least. And Zek is definitely closing in on Denzamo. We'll keep an eye on that gap as well. It has been a fascinating Monaco Grand Prix so far, and it looks set to be a classic in F8. A momentary yellow flag there for Clean Bandit, who spun. Another front wing loss for him. I'd be surprised if Danny had any front wings left. Oh no! David Ben, a 3-second time penalty. That means he will have to pass Washi to claim victory in Monaco, and that makes things even more interesting. He will be kicking himself. He will have to close up to Washi and pass him if he wants this race victory. This is where he gains the time. Denzamo gets a 3-second penalty as well. Washi will have been told this now, that he has a penalty. And I think Washi managed to recover some of the time that's been lost. With the gap 13.1 seconds, he has to close the gap. With about 13 laps to go. The gap is coming down. So Zek is closing up to Denzamo in the meantime, and he's going to be lapped by Washi at this point now. Every driver here will score points today. Washi's now 12.5 seconds ahead, and now he will know that David Ben will have to pass him to win the Monaco Grand Prix. Ben did it earlier today already. He passed Washi for the lead, but he'll have to do it again if he can close up. A spectacular move it was as well. But now this will probably give Ben the motivation to push like he's never pushed before in this Ferrari. It's a stellar performance from him no matter what. Clean Bandit, another penalty. This is almost disqualification at this point with the amount of penalties he's picked up. Zek, another 3-second penalty. He's coming up to lap Clean Bandit, and he's closing in on Denzamo. He's got at least a 12-second penalty at this point, which means he needs to get about 9 seconds in front of Denzamo to claim that podium. As Denzamo has a penalty also. Penalty-ridden session. We've also seen one of the most spectacular accidents this season involving Seika and Clean Bandit. We'll have to look at that. Seika ended up riding the wall against his teammate, and somehow came out with just a broken front wing. Sector 2, we've got a yellow flag, and that is Clean Bandit, who has spun, and now Washi has to negotiate his way past G White, who gets well out of the way. David Ben is now 10.8 behind your race leader, with 10 laps to go at this point. He's gaining a second a lap. It's gonna be so close to the end if he can keep this pace up, but he will have to pass the race leader, and Washi is known for his trademark park the bus. Clean Bandit, he'll have to get out of the way, and he gets well out of the way. Is anyone penalty free? As far as I know, I think Mr. Robin is the only... Mr. Robin and IEJ are the only penalty free guys at this point. Look at Zek, he's managed to close up to Denzamo, so this could be a nice little ding-dong battle here, even if it is fruitless for Zek, because he's got a 12-second penalty. Denzamo has a 3-second penalty, so he needs to get 9 seconds in front, essentially. Now he's closed up 9 seconds within a couple of laps, but can he gain that time back? He'll have to pass him, of course. Denzamo, not an easy man to pass. And of course Monaco is the hardest place to pass anybody. Towards Rask has to go for the 29th time, or the 28th time for these guys. Through Anthony Nogues, he'll get DRS, watch the flap on the back. Pops it open. And locking up into Sandevot, and the gap up front seems to be stabilising. So it may all be said and done. Look at Zek closing in, and he's gonna launch it on the inside. Thinks about it. Couldn't make it work though. Denzamo wise to it through the Lowe's hairpin, so close to the back of the gearbox. And David Ben is now starting to drop back. So I think he's given it all he's got. All he can hope for is a mistake from Washi, and I don't know if that's going to happen. Is he stuck behind traffic, or is that just it? His tyres have given up. Maybe he can try something later on. Moves out of the way. Does Clean Bandit. Mr. Robin has been a change of position between him and IEJ, so he's caught him and passed him. Oh! Zek clatters the wall in the swimming pool section, and that pretty much is it for chasing after Nizamo, because that's going to have zero grip on it now. He'll probably stay out. I think David Ben has given it all he's got, but I don't think it's going to be enough today. It's a very, very promising performance from him, though. We've never seen this performance from him. And he's put on a show. He's going to get his first podium of the season here today. And is unable to close up any further to Washi. The gap flits in between 10.1, 10.0 and 10.2. And it just seems that Washi has been controlling that pace. And again, we can't count out a mistake. But Washi looks in complete control of this race. Hasn't had the perfect one. He hasn't led every single lap. But he has made sure that he remains on the way to winning the championship this season. Lights up the tyres as we go to about 7 laps to go. Yes, we've 7 laps to go. Go through Raskas. He's coming up to lap Zek, who comes in for a front wing. So, can David Ben do anything at all? Even if he closes up a second a lap, it's not going to be... Well, yeah, it's not going to be enough because he's got a 3-second penalty. And it means he'll have to pass Washi, so I think it's pretty much all said and done here in Monaco. But we've had a great race, not one to be forgotten anytime soon. I'm sure these drivers will be discussing it in great detail afterwards. My driver of the day today is going to go to David Ben for his great performance. Washi has put on another great display, but I think it's going to have to go to the man who has shone out today, and that is David Ben. So, with just about 6 laps to go, almost 6 laps to go, all Washi has to do is bring it home. You can see how he's taking it very cautiously through the swimming pool section. That's where David Ben gains the time. He's just taking it ever so slowly, making sure he doesn't make a mistake. But even in that sector, David Ben gained a 1 whole second. Even he's taking it slowly now. And Washi gained about a second back just there. Well, never mind. Oh no! David Ben straight on. Is that it? No, just a mistake. So that's definitely going to be it for his chase after Washi. It's too late now. He's made that mistake. I'm not sure what made that happen, but just a lapse in judgment perhaps after lapping around this track for the past hour or so. Well, that essentially has sealed Washi's victory today. We've got no battles going on further back. Not long left in this Grand Prix now. You can just ride on board with Washi for the last few laps of this Grand Prix. It's been one of great interest, this Grand Prix. Probably the Grand Prix of the season if I was to say that now. An incredible race, an incredible opening half to the race. 4 leaders nose to tail as they all attempted to get past into the lead. David Ben eventually managed to do so, but made a mistake, lost his front wing twice, and that meant an end to his chase of this man, Washi. Meanwhile, down in 8th, I can see the gap coming between G. White and Seika coming down, so we'll keep an eye on that. But Washi has kept his nose clean. I think he's the only man who hasn't had to make a nose change. He's got a 3-second penalty for corner conning, so it's not been totally clean. But David Ben could have had it, made a mistake, lost the front nose cone, and that meant he couldn't chase after this man. He had a 3-second time penalty as well, so he lost his chance of closing in with just within 3 seconds and holding it there to win the race. Let's go back to this little happening here. This is G. Whites and Seika about to go at it. Just saw Zek lapping them there. Riding on board in the Haas, the American driver driving for the American team, the American Dream, is on course for a decent points haul today, if they can get past the Mercedes. DRS opens it very late, but remembers he has it. Into Sandoval. Can he close in at all and get past this man? G. White's very slow up towards the casino square. A little lock up from Seika there. A little bit flustered, but gathers it all back together and resumes his attempt to get past G. White's. Into Portier they will go. For the 35th time. Oh, clatters the wall for good measure. G. White's goes a little bit deep, so Seika will close up a little bit. Closes up massively, actually, so he won't have a chance to back. No way at all. Too tight through this section anyway. Let's watch if he can take this bit flat. Drags the brake slightly. Oh, clatters the wall slightly there. So he's lost a chunk of time to the Dutchman. But still within that second bracket. Here the DRS opens it up. Boniface is joined back, probably just to watch the remainder of the race. It's been a shame. He could have had a podium today, but crashed out at the lowest hairpin in a very bizarre accident. G. White loses all his time through there, through the casino square. So Seika can maybe expose that weakness. Maybe into the lowest hairpin. Thinks better of that. Not long left in this Grand Prix at all now. And here comes Seika towards the Nouvelle chicane. Locking up that outside right. Gets a good run out of the Nouvelle chicane, but G. White is just able to park the bus and remain in 7th position. Oh, Seika, mistake from him there. So we got yellow in this sector. I'm not sure what that's for. G. White's almost... Oh! Seika almost clattered the barrier. I think that yellow is for Clean Bandit. It was almost 3 laps down. Oh, G. White makes a mistake, locks up, goes straight on. And that looks like his wheel is just disconnected. Zek is back in the pits. Now he's going to come out. He will come out in front of Mr. Robin, but that puts Seika up to P7 for a decent points haul with Haas. Washi laps IEJ for the second time. It's coming up to 2 laps to go in the Monaco Grand Prix. Has never ever won Monaco, but is on his way to adding that to his list of tallies. 1 in China and 1 in Bahrain, and is now about to go to victory in the Monaco Grand Prix, the most prestigious race in the F1 calendar, the one every driver aspires to win. And Washi's going to have his name added to the list of winners alongside Ayrton Senna, Alain Prost, the likes of Michael Schumacher, and all the greats in this sport have won the Monaco Grand Prix on their way to the championship Is this a sign that Washi is going to win the championship this season? It's very early on in the season to be able to tell that, but he looks ever so composed and ever so strong out the front in that Toro Rosso. In the toughest race of them all, he has done everything he needed to do. All he's got to do is one more lap to take it to victory lane for the third time this season and extend his championship lead by another 25 points. We got a yellow in sector 2. Who is that for? It is for Clean Bandit, who knocks his nose off for about the 6th time, I reckon. I think. On to the final lap. Washi goes. That's right on board with him in his final lap. You'll see him just take it ever easy. Just taking it easy. Making sure he makes no mistakes. The tyres have done a lot of laps. Done about 20, I think. The infamous bump down towards this corner there. Sending the car into the air for a momentary second. Through the lowest hairpin for the last time. We got a yellow in the sector. It's been withdrawn through Portier for the last time. The marshal's clapping as he goes through. And down to the Nouvelle Chicane for the final time. Is this Monaco win a sign that Washi is on his way to his first ever World Championship? We don't know. He may have a battle on his hands, but his championship rival McQuiz has crashed out here today. His other championship rival is in F7, has moved up a tier. So this has moved him back to the top. But Washi's name is about to be added to the list of greats, because coming through Anthony Noakes for the final time, Washi is going to win the Monaco Grand Prix for the first time in his career. It's a fantastic win for the Toro Rosso team. What an amazing victory. And he extends his championship lead by another 25 points. David Ben's standout performance finishes in second place. Denzamo in P3. Zek in P4. Mr. Robin in P5 on his return after a little while. IEJ in P6, Seika P7, G White's in P8. Noodle will finish P9, and Clean Bandit will round out in P10. 5 retirements: Jason, Boniface, McQuiz, Danny Oyuke, and FIFA fans. Washi, a third win this season, and is looking very strong in that Toro Rosso. David Ben has done an amazing job to get that his first podium this season. And Zek just manages to pop in fastest lap at the end there, so at least he'll have that honour. But well done to Washi for yet another race victory. And it's looking all good for Toro Rosso as Denzamo picks up another podium to add to his tally and extend Toro Rosso's lead at the top of the Constructors' Championship. So, we're going to round out the stream there. Thank you all so much for watching. I really enjoyed this Grand Prix. We'll just catch the podium before we go off air. Washi celebrates his victory. The day belongs to Washi. Champagne gets sprayed across the spectators, and Washi accepts another victory to add to his tally. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you all for round 7 next time out. Have a good day. Bye bye.